Okay, and we're going. So, hi guys. It is Tuesday. Is it seriously? It's Tuesday?
No, it's
No, that's
Wednesday.
April. Oh my gosh, we have the wrong calendar up.
It's Wednesday.
It's Tuesday, May 4th. I have to rip that off so that it says May. I'm looking at April still. Oh my gosh. Blows my mind that we are almost halfway through the year. Like, how crazy? Such a crazy year. But tonight we're going to do a coach Q&A, and I know some of you guys have sent me some questions, and I've been getting a lot of questions in my message inbox from new coaches, veteran coaches, and I wanted to just open it up to just answer some questions for you guys tonight. So thank you. Becky and Tori for sending me a couple questions. I also wrote down just a couple things too. So I will answer those. And then if you guys have any other questions that come up and you're on here that you're wanting to know about the coach business, no question's a bad question. I can promise you I've probably asked all of them. Like, I'm always asking questions because there's always something to learn. So before we get started, I just want to let you guys know that the Let's Get Up customer launch was officially yesterday. So the program is now available for customers and coaches. So definitely start sharing about that if you have not yet. And we also have our $40 off CEO promo codes that are good until tomorrow. Like, what? And I want to tell you guys, so I personally have not posted about my CEO codes on my page. Normally I would, because you want people to know that this awesome deal is out there. Just for me and where I'm at in my business right now is I have a lot of conversations going. So I'm a little worried about running out of my codes so that I would make a post and then they would be gone. I have a couple left. So my game plan is to post tomorrow about my CEO codes and kind of be like, this is like a last day for these codes, and really just create that sense of urgency. Sorry about that. And post then. So if you guys have not posted yet, I would highly recommend posting now or posting tomorrow so that people know you have these codes and how freaking valuable they are and how urgent it is that they need to join and sign up tomorrow if they want to get this insane steep discount that I haven't seen in 2.5 years in working this business. It's crazy that you can get everything in a challenge pack for the price of just Beachbody On Demand alone. So you guys have to communicate that excitement in your posts, in your conversations that you're having, and let people know so that those codes don't go to waste, because I know we've gotten them 2 times now, but honest to goodness, I have no idea when we're going to get them again. I also want you guys to know that there is this thing right now going on called the Take Action Challenge. And what I am going to do, and this is what I do for everything that I have questions on, I put it into Google, like super mind blowing. And I read up on it. And honestly, this is something I haven't read a ton on, but it's really, really cool. It's running from April until June 2021. So next month. And basically, we can go over this in a couple minutes too, for doing the business activity tracker, you can win a bunch of prizes. So if you're following the business activity tracker, you're tracking those activities, you're inviting to your bod group. I just pulled it up right here. It is FAQ 7729. You can win cash prizes from the company. They're giving away trips. I think a mixed fitness bike is like one of the prizes, like just for doing your things in your business and tracking them. So super cool. If you guys have not got on that yet, I highly recommend you do. I know a couple girls on our upline team that have already won like $100, which is super cool. Like, who could not benefit from an extra $100? I know, like, that sets me on fire. Like, I will do anything for that. And then also for my virtual gym group, I have a May challenge that I'm working on with Amanda and Mindy. starts on Monday next week. It's going to be a partner challenge, and we're going to be focusing on nutrition, tracking nutrition, and Shakeology with a little bit of movement. So with Let's Get Up, it's been super fun. We want people to get the best benefit from this program. So we're going to focus on nutrition and really diving into both of those nutrition plans, with also hoping that this partner accountability setup will help people with really just having someone else to check in with on their nutrition. I feel like that's been a huge need in our group. Heard everybody. So we're going to be doing that starting on Monday next week. So feel free to hop in and join. I'll be posting about that later this week. And then also tomorrow night, we have a coach sneak peek event. I created an event this time instead of doing it in our group, and it's going to be on Zoom. Make sure you check that out. It's going to be totally new. I am opening it up to anybody that wants to learn about coaching, but really just, I'm going to be focusing on how you can run this business, have fun, even if you have a busy life. So I'm going to just be sharing a little bit about my story in the beginning and just some of my top tips for people that are, interested in, working out or doing the coaching side of things, but they just can't seem to get past that, I'm busy or I'm working or I have kids, and just kind of like my top tips on how I've been able to see success thus far and how others can do it too. So that will be tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. Feel free to share that event, get people in there. If you guys want to come in and cheer me on, like that would be awesome, because my hope is then to, at the end of the month, to recreate that and really to partner up with some people that want to run that Zoom with me or something similar, get more people on board and get people excited. So yeah, are there any questions so far? Because if not, can keep going. All right, so to start us off for Q&A, couple things. So the first question from Becky I had was, what is your typical daily routine balancing the girls, running your business, taking care of yourself, etc.? And you guys will learn very quickly. If you've been around for a while, you know how I am. I mean, you can see my hair clearly. I'm very type B, and I don't have the perfect routine. However, I do get the same things done, I would say, with about like 80-90% consistency for the past 2 years. So I do really well at being consistent. As far as routine with the 3 girls, I'll give you what a general day looks like for just balancing. So I do wake up earlier, I try to, and right away in the morning, it's like energized. That's my personal development time. And it's also when I get my workout is in that morning time before I have to get like Aubrey to school. And even on weekends, I like to work out in the morning. Although sometimes the girls have dance and I'll have Steven take them to dance and then I work out later, and it's really nice. But I try to get those things done in the morning and to make it focused on me. I have gotten into a habit, and I wouldn't recommend this, where sometimes I am checking my phone and checking messages if I fall asleep really early the night before and I know I had some conversations hanging. But really, my focus and what I want people to focus on is like, get yourself ready for the day first. Like, focus on you. Like, wake up, drink your Energize, like do your workout. Like, you got to fill your cup up first before you fill other people's cups up. I also, so we get Aubrey to school, and then I usually, this is kind of like funny. So luckily I don't have anywhere to go, but I'll drive if it's nice out for like 15-20 minutes, and I'll listen to like a podcast or something. So I am literally like pumping myself up for the day. And if I don't go for a drive, I'll come home, I'll put something on the, I don't want to say her name, Alexa, because she's going to respond. Alexa, stop. She doesn't listen to me when I need her to, but now she's listening. But I'll put something on that or on the TV, and I'll just like get myself really amped up and pumped up for the day. Then between like 9 and 11, I feel like is kind of open. That's usually my time for like just like, chores, or if we want to go out to the park or grocery shopping or like do some laundry. Like our national wake up calls are on Monday. So sometimes I'll watch them live, but most times I'm playing it back later in the week when I'm in my drive time, or when I have some downtime, like when I'm cooking dinner. But that's kind of like our downish time. And then we have a pretty good, like, lunch between 11 and noon to 1, I'm working on getting the girls down for a nap. And then between 1 and 3, hi Rhea, we have, that's kind of like my work block. And then by 3 o'clock, 3:30, my girls are up. And then I really try to be intentional to just shut things off for the evening. If I'm cooking dinner though, like I'm listening to more like personal development or something, because like maybe that's when I miss the call or something's going on. Like I'll listen to that while Steven has the kids. But I really am working on just trying to be intentional on just like turning things off. And then bedtime, if I have any loose ends that I need to wrap up, like I'll spend a little time like replying to messages. Like it depends. Like if there's someone earlier in the day that's like, yes, I'm ready to join and blah, blah, blah. Like I'm making sure at the end of the night, like checking in on how they're feeling. But that kind of depends on the day. So that is literally like the perfect day that I'm reciting to you. That is not every day. There are definitely days where my kids don't nap, or where we have something else going on. If we're visiting family, or like today we had a play date and like it looks a little bit different, but I'm pretty good about generally planning for that in advance, and then figuring out like, okay, like I know today we had a play date. So I had to get more of my business stuff done in the morning so that I can go and enjoy my day. And then anything that I need to wrap up tonight, I'll just wrap up, move on to the next day and keep going. Um, when you guys are creating your daily routine, I think my biggest tip is focus on you first, because it's really hard just in general. Like if you're going to your job or anywhere, like you want to go in with a positive attitude. So it's the same thing with this. Like you don't want to show up feeling tired and drained and exhausted and overwhelmed. So do what you got to do to amp yourself up first. So get your workout in, read your personal development, listen to something, put some music on, start figuring out like what's going to amp you up for the day, and do that first. Because just like the whole oxygen mask theory, like you have to put yours on first before you put on your kids and everyone else. You need to fill up your tank first before you can start pouring out to others. So that is like super crucial, like taking care of yourself first instead of like later in the day or after work. Like I always cringe a little inside when people are like, I'm gonna work out after work. I'm like, like I'll see how that goes. Like some people do it, they love it, and that's their thing. But I find mornings are the best. And there's just so much research, I feel like, behind mornings too. There's even a book out there called The Miracle Morning that a lot of coaches have read. I have not read that yet, but there's just so much good to starting off your morning, with gratitude or journaling or like praying, whatever it is that's going to like get you ready for the day. So I hope that's helpful. When I was working full time, it looked different. Same thing though. I use my car as like my time to like listen to things. Like anytime I'm in the car, I am listening to a podcast or personal development, like some sort of training. I also like, I did a lot of like power pockets, and I know like the Beachbody Champions page like has like really good training on power pockets for people that don't have that extended time to work their business, like where you don't have an hour to sit down and like do your power hour and get your invites out and connecting and inviting and like all those income producing activities. You can break it up into chunks in the day. And sometimes I have to do that too. Like sometimes I'm, nursing the baby and I'm expanding or whatever. And then later, if Ariana doesn't nap, like that happens a lot where she's kind of in this phase, like she generally naps, but if we're off routine for some reason, like I give her the iPad for a little bit. I'm like, okay, I'm going to focus on just inviting or just following up. And then I do that. And then, okay, move on, because that only lasts for so long. I actually found myself to be very efficient when I was working full time because I really there weren't any cracks in my day. Like I feel like now that I'm home personally, it's like, oh, I can do this and there's that, or I could get caught up in like playing or laundry or whatever. Like whereas when I was like working full time, I had to be like, okay, I've got a 10-minute break before like I have to go to this next school. I'm gonna blast through this real quick and then I'd move on. And I felt like that really helped me when I didn't have like those big chunks of time too. So yeah. The next question was how to overcome no reactions to posts and such. And I feel like I gotta drink my water because this is like super exciting. Oh my gosh. Okay. Overcoming no reactions to posts. Keep posting. First, I mean, I should ask a little bit more. I know, Tori, this is you. Love you, girl. But it's like the name of the game. And I am working with Josh Coates right now, who is like big in the Beachbody community. And yep, just a minute, baby. Aubrey's tired. And it's so easy to get caught up in the likes and the reactions and how many people are following, like extremely guilty, like super guilty. And even now I have to like check myself when I like make a post and I look and I'm like, oh, this many people liked it. It's like, no, that's not the point of it. Like that really is not the point of it. I think knowing your why and your vision is huge. Like, why are you posting? Like, what really like getting clear on that and who you are trying to serve and focusing on the impact that you're leaving and the value you're providing people versus how people are responding. Because I have found, and I feel like a lot of coaches have found this too. It's funny now because I've been in this business for 2.5 years. I have screamed at the top of my lungs, like I am a health and fitness coach. I'm with Beachbody. Most people know, unless they're brand new and figuring it out, most people know. So when I post a picture of me and Aubrey, we'll get like 100 likes. Like people love it. They love to see her. And then 2 days later, I'll post about a challenge group and I'll get like 10 likes, maybe 10. But we don't stop posting those because we get 10 likes and only post about our kids, because people are watching. People are observing and they are waiting to just see what you're going to do. They won't say anything. Some people will reach out to you, and if they're ready, they will, but most people will sit and watch and see, like, what are you going to do next? Like, they are just like waiting to see, is Brooke, just because I see you right now, Brooke, like, is Brooke in this? Like, is she sticking with this, or is it just another thing? And I think all of us can kind of relate to that. Like, social media now, like, there's so many people running so many different businesses. With people working from home, there's a lot out there, and there are so many people, women, men alike, that are trying to find something to do from home where they can produce a side income or money. And it's everywhere. I mean, a lot of people come into this and they're afraid of being salesy because they've been sold to, or people have messaged them. I feel like, I'm pretty sure like all of us have been there because we're on social media. You know what I'm talking about. So people know that. They know that. And they react based on whatever their prior experience was. Maybe it was with someone else, another company, like whatever their experience was, like they're either going to react to your post or not react. So you, like, when overcoming that, first off, personal development is huge. Like, focusing on what your why is, why you're posting, what this is doing for you, why are you sharing? Because this is something for your family? Are you sharing because you know how it's changed your life and you want to change someone else's life? Like, getting clear on that vision and why is going to be huge. And then also just realizing people are watching. So even if they're not liking or reacting or commenting, I can guarantee you there are people that are watching and they're either too afraid to say anything. They are waiting to see what you're going to do, to see how long you're going to stick around. And they're just waiting for that right opportunity. So I guess like, as far as like, I know early on, I struggled a little bit with that. More specifically with like getting in people's inboxes, like that was really hard for me. Posting was easier, but I know for some people posting is really hard. And it's like, we're looking at the likes, we're seeing what people are saying. I think just knowing like the reason why you're posting is just so important. So hope that's helpful. Mindset is truly everything, you guys. And it sounds so cheesy, but I feel like anything in this business you struggle with, like reading something, figuring out like what your why is, like why you're doing this and what you want it to look like for you is going to be huge. And then just like doing the things. So like this, like you guys showing up on this call tonight is huge. Like that just shows me that you guys are committed to learning more and that you're in this. Showing up in the groups, showing up for your own health and fitness, like doing those things and just starting to branch out of your comfort zone. So you look at that activity tracker and you're talking to people. You're sharing with people what you're doing, how it's worked for you, and if they want to do it too. Like there are some things that are going to feel more comfortable than others, but I think something that I learned really early on in the business is if I am not comfortable with it, or like if there is something that I need to do that I'm not really good at, I need to go there so I can grow there. And I did that. Like I remember I was terrible at inviting. So instead of avoiding inviting because I was so scared, I went there. I literally made that my focus. Like I was good at posting. I didn't have to worry about that. So maybe my posts weren't that great for that long, but I focused solely on inviting. Like why was I scared of inviting? How can I better invite so it made me feel authentic to me? What did it mean to be authentic when I'm inviting? Like what does that look like? And I would type out a few things. I would say things and I would send invites that sounded horrible and felt weird. And then I just learned from that and changed it. And over time, I have come up with invites that feel so authentic and genuine to me, but it took time and sending those crappy invites, making those crappy posts, running really bad challenge groups where nobody participated to start to see patterns over time and figure out, okay, what is going to work for me? And while I was doing that, I was doing personal development. So reading a book, listening to podcasts, digging into the resources that we have. So our national wake up calls. And actually, I was going to show you guys that real quick, if that's okay. And then I can open it up so you can see my screen. If you guys are not watching the national wake up calls and not on the Beachbody Champions page, like that's your job tonight. That's your only job. And then you can go to bed. I paused the recording, so I don't know where it paused, but if anyone has any questions, feel free to unmute yourself. I know I've got a small crowd tonight.
One thing, this might sound kind of like a cheesy thing, but and you may have talked about it in the past, but like, what's something that you wish you would have known in your first year of coaching?
Ooh, that's like a really good question. What is something I wish I would have known? Honestly, I did not. I watched all like those national wake up calls and I watched a bunch of trainings. I never really read personal development books. I wish I would have started that sooner. Like hands down. That like I had a lot of fear around being a coach and sharing it with people. And I still love the idea of like curiosity marketing. Like I'm not huge on like posting Shakeology or Energize labels everywhere because it's more about, when people sign up and join, they're signing because they know, like, and trust you. but I wish that first year that I would have really listened to people and read some books. I also wish I would have followed the activity tracker because I didn't. And I think there's some good and bad to that because I feel like I was pretty naturally able to just really like fall in love with bits and pieces of it and not feel overwhelmed with all like, I think some like people can go two ways. They can look at the tracker and be like, oh my God, this is awesome. I can check the boxes and I'm done. I also think it can be overwhelming to someone that's like, oh my God, I don't know how to post. And now I have to invite. Now I have to do this and keep up with my workouts. It can be overwhelming. But I wish I would have just known what was on it because I think I would have saved myself a lot of time focusing on the right activities that were going to help me get to my goals. And my goals were income goals. I mean, obviously, like my personal health and fitness, but I think I wasted a lot of time that first year, trying to make really pretty Canva graphics and like, I was scared of talking about coaching. Like there were just like little things that I like focused too much on that really weren't that important versus if I were just to focus on the activities that were going to move my business forward and been more intentional with those, like I think I would have saved myself a lot of time and heartache. So probably those two things, the business activity tracker and reading personal development for sure. That's a good question. I keep messaging people privately instead of sending it. Also funny because my posts with the least likes have had more signups. Yeah, mine too. Like anytime I do a sneak peek post now or a challenge group post or like call to action, like nobody likes it besides the same couple people, like 9 people. But there's people watching. And why it's important to keep building those connections and relationships with people and asking because you just never know when they're going to be ready. The why is so important. It can be hard to be so honest with yourself sometimes. Yes. I think it is hard. I think you start to reveal stuff about you and you're like, whoa. Like I know we talked about that a little bit today. Let's see. I'm gonna write in the chat real quick.
I've got a quick question.
Yeah.
What do you do, or have you ever felt like your coach just wasn't paying enough attention to you as a coach? And like, what do you do in those instances?
It's Wes. That's a really good question. Ooh. Yes.
He's teasing.
Yes, I'm
He's
totally
teasing.
kidding.
He was going to ask about the t-shirt, but
I was gonna say, have you ever had troubles with customer service getting your reward shirts out to you on time?
Oh
I still
my
haven't seen
God.
mine.
sorry, we had to mess with you just a little bit.
This was 0% my idea, by the way.
This Allbrook.
Yeah.
Allbrook.
I was minding my own business, watching cartoon Star Wars with the kids. You go then? Yeah.
That's so funny. I've actually felt that with my downline, Brooke Hall specifically. Her and her coach, she's working, I think she's working under Steven. And he's like messing around. I don't know. I gotta talk to him.
Like, what does he even do all day, kind of thing?
I have no idea.
it's not like he's out there saving lives.
Right?
I actually really do want to know. So I know that we talk a lot about fears. Your fears are my homeboy, but what's your other favorite personal development book that you feel like has shaped you the most?
The one that I really liked that helped me just with like prioritizing is You Can Have It All, Just Not at the Same Damn Time by Romy.
That's right. You told me about that one.
Yes. That was the book that I picked up last year when I was struggling. And I literally told Steven, I was like, I want to be home. I want more time and I want more money. Like, how do I do both? And like, I don't know if you guys have ever heard this, like if anyone else has heard, like my grandma always said, you have to choose one or the other. It's time or money. You can't have both. And basically just saying like, as a woman, like it's either you go to work and you make money for your family and you miss out on time with your kids, or you stay home with your kids, have time with them, and you miss out on bringing home money for your family. And I was like, oh my gosh, like that's really sad that like women were taught this, that like you have to choose one or the other, like you can't have both. And I don't know, maybe it was just something she said, but I remember like having this conversation with her and I was like, no, but I'm going to have both and I'm going to find a way to find both. And I saw the title of this book and I'm like, oh, I can have it all. And I think the reason why I really liked it is because it really helped me dig in and figure out what my priorities were, what they weren't, what was serving me and what wasn't. And it really helped me say no to a lot of things, because before becoming a coach and before like Beachbody, I would say yes to like everything and be like, oh, this person's going to be mad if I say no. So yes, like, oh, I'll do this, because I was so worried about like hurting other people's feelings. And I've gotten really, really good at the no. Like if it's not serving my current priorities and goals, like I don't feel guilty being like, no, like I can't. I think the biggest thing like right now, and this may change in the future, like maybe 6 months from now, something comes up and I change, but I say no to all other like company parties. And I know I have so many friends that do like other multi-level marketing businesses like Usborne and stuff. I love Usborne. I love, Beauty Counter and all those companies. And I appreciate those women, but I refuse to have a party for myself and invite people to, just because it takes time away from my business. And for so long, I was trying so hard to help all these other people and I would say yes, and it would stress me out. And then I was like, I don't even want this gift. It doesn't feel right. So I just like created this hard boundary for myself. Like if anyone asked me to do any party, I just say no, like, no, thank you. I appreciate you asking me. Like, it's just not something that I can take on. And that book really helped me with just becoming comfortable with that, instead of worrying about like what that would mean for someone else. And just really thinking like everything that I do in my day, is it moving me closer to my goal or further away? I also think The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy helped me with that too, because he like takes it to the next level where he tells some really good stories, but the whole idea of the compound effect is that the little consistent things that you do every day are the things that are going to get you results. So a lot of people think like weight loss, it's like, okay, I'm going to start tomorrow and exercise at the gym and eat super healthy and go all in and drink my water and it's going to be great. Like I'm going to do all the things to lose weight. People usually fall off. And he talks about really how it's not even like the big things, but it is those tiny, tiny things that are almost like, it's like scary how you might not even realize like how these habitual habits are impacting you. Like a $5 frappuccino or something a day, and how that $5 frappuccino is not only 50 grams of sugar, but it's also $5 a day. And over the course of 5 years, $5 a day times 365 times that by 5, like that's how much money you're spending on your frappuccino habit. And you also gain 25 pounds in that like whole time. And I'm like, wait, what? Like something like so small. So those would probably be my 2 favorite books that are really good. And I think both of them helped with my business. And there's so many out there that I need to read. I can't wait. I know we're almost at the end of the hour. So if anyone has any like dying, burning questions that they're like, I need to ask this right now, and I can't think of any other questions that were asked outside of this. I think those 2 big resources were the things I really wanted to hit on, and just those couple questions. I think, yeah, just do something. And even focusing on one thing at a time is okay. I mean, truly focusing on getting really good at something before moving on to the next thing. So if it's your health journey, because truly, if you're not focusing on your health journey, it's really going to be hard to help other people because they're looking to you to model that behavior first to show them that it's possible. So focus on that for a couple weeks. Then you get good at that, and then maybe it's posting. Like literally just focus on a week or 2 weeks of just posting every day. Like research that, make that your thing, get into that habit. And then move on to inviting or connecting or whatever it is. And I think that taking those big goals and breaking it down, especially when you're newer, is okay. And even when you're in this business for a long time, like focusing on little things at a time, because it can be so easy to like take it all in. And I'm very guilty of being like, oh, I'm gonna do this. That sometimes I have to slow myself down and be like, no, like focus on this first. And for a long time, it was a tracker, and I used a tracker for 5 weeks. And now it's like, I just know what to do. So I just do it. But I remember there was a time where that wasn't, something I was doing. So I just focused on that one thing. So I think that's like the best way. And then just celebrate everything. Like we're little doggies that are learning how to potty train or go on walks just because I saw Kat's dog today. But like, or a child, like celebrate yourself. Like you made a post, celebrate. You did your workout, celebrate. Like having that consistent positive instead of focusing on what you didn't do. Make sure at the end of the day, you're looking back and saying, okay, what did I do to move my business forward today? I had 3 conversations and I posted. Boom, celebrate that, go to bed, do it again the next day, and just keep on adding. So those I think are my biggest tips for you guys. All right, I am gonna wrap this up, and if you guys want to join me tomorrow for the sneak peek, that'll be at 8:30 p.m. You're welcome. I am gonna stop this and save it for the peeps that couldn't be on, but hope you ladies have a good night, get some sleep, and I'll see y'all in the morning in the virtual gym. Say bye.
Bye.